I owe Rock and her brother bullets to the head. Let me handle her.
Anybody who ever bet against me is lost.
But the streets ain't ours no more. We marks out here.
Snaps and Pops need to see that you're dedicated.
Mama handled it.
No, okay, fine.
She's gonna do something crazy, Kanan.
Kanan, just like the game. The more you push, the further away that shit gonna get.
What's up, ugly ass niggas? It's your boy J Miles, and I am back with another video. And you know what to do. If you're new, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, leave a like, comment, let me know what you're thinking, but most importantly, make sure you share it with your ugly ass friends. Now, on today's video, we will be dealing with Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, and this is the episode 7 recap. Yeah, I'm late. Shut your ugly ass up. You still got it now. But anyways, we're going to be going into all of the details of what happened in episode 7. As we know, it was a transition for our boy Marvin, and a lot of us are very upset about it. But I told you last niggas that was going to happen, and now we are here. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get right on into it. So we start the thing off, you know, they got Marvin, he's laying in the bed. Of course, we got the narration of 50 Cent, and pretty much you should have known by, you know, the previews and them saying this making this the opening shot that Marvin was out. Like, they were showing him way too much. And then, you know, anytime you're thinking about everything you've done in life, you know the end is near. So, as we go ahead and get to ugly ass Stefano and Hafiz. And of course, Hafiz is like, her and their brother must start. And this last Stefano is like, hold up, Rock and her brother, bullets to the head. Let my ass handle it. And you know, he was basically, Hafiz was concerned that, you know, even though he wanted to take them out, but she still had connections to Pino. And, you know, Pino is not no joke. But Stefano has alerted him that now that you're no longer working with Rock and the Colombian is out, she can't make any money for Pino anymore. And now that he is no longer able to make Pino money, she is no longer used to him. Next, we go ahead and get to Marvin and Rock. They are waiting at a park for none other than your girl Flossie. Rock was a little concerned. She was like, look, any idea what this is about? Marvin told her nope. She just ordered the meet us there. And Rock was trying to figure out whether he was smashing or not, because she was saying, if you are, maybe that can help us through this, which is the truth. If Marvin could have, you know, went ahead and maybe tried it and got it, maybe she would have reconsidered. But that wasn't the case. And Flossie got there. She lets them know pretty much she didn't sugarcoat it. She didn't waste no time. She told him, look, your little ugly ass son showed up to my apartment. Not sure if he was there to kill me or to scare me, but it doesn't matter because you lied to me. He told me that your ugly ass knew that he was the one who replaced the drugs to kill the judge, and I am no longer working with you. She said that she's going to miss the talks that she had with Marvin, but, you know, they'll both get over it. Next, we get to your girl, Jarita. She's speaking with Kanan, and she's like, look, ugly ass nigga, I don't know what you thought this was, but like, you know, I'm afraid and stuff like that. And then, of course, Kanan was ugly as hell. He was like, she already made it clear that she ain't on her way to you. She made that clear. What the fuck you thought was gonna happen when I came in there with my guy? And she was like, I don't know, last nigga, but I just know you got me doing stuff that I'm not used to. I shouldn't be doing stuff like this. And you know, maybe I deserve this. Maybe if I wouldn't be in a little hoochie all the time, I would be in this. And you know, she started going on a rant. And of course, Kanan didn't want to hear that shit. Hell, I didn't want to hear it from him. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, he was like, I ain't got time for all of this. If you want me coming on there talking all that bullshit, you can go ahead and leave. So she decided to leave. She was like, fuck you, Kanan. And he was like, fuck you too, little hoochie. Shit, we had one here anyway. And next we get to your boy Marvin and Rock again. Rock is basically saying your girl just fucked us, and Marvin like, no, that was you. And Rock was trying to tell Marvin to go to the pawn shop and grab up Kanan. And he was letting her know that if he does go through there, Kanan gonna get, if Kanan is there, he's gonna get dropped too. And of course, Rock wasn't for that. He's like, why are you so, you real picky about what ugly ass niggas you kill? And then Rock keeps trying to say he's a child. But Marvin conveniently let her know, shit, D-Wiz was a child. So was the kid that they just killed on the bike. Hell, Scrap wasn't that much older than Kanan, but you didn't care nothing about them. So it's like you very picky about whose kids you take out. And he was 100% on the money about that. But Rock had a pretty good rebuttal. She was like, you would do the same thing if it was Jew. But I'm not so sure about that. But anyways, next we get to Breeze. He is having a sit down with Snaps and Pop. And they basically are telling him that they need, him to reach out to Kanan and figure out if he's dedicated to who is his allegiance with when it comes to this work. Is it with his family or is it with them? Because he's saying he's with them. And, Breeze is like, I don't know. Like, that's a real hard ask because that's his people. And it was like, we're his people now. So, hideousness was definitely going on. Next, we get to your boy, Garcia. He has been brought in for questioning by the FBI, and I'm guessing it was another department. I'm not exactly sure who they were, but anyways, they was questioning him about the suicide of Captain Baptiste, because he is, obviously he committed suicide last episode, and people said that they saw that they had a very intense, they had some kind of disagreement, and Garcia, of course, brushed it off, said it was just a little gamble bet or something that he was confronting him about, nothing serious. And, he was pretty much able to successfully throw them off his path. He even, had the cap a little. But next, we get to Juke. She is meeting up with Kanan, and Kanan walks up to her. Thought you didn't want to work with me anymore. Should I don't, ass nigga? But I thought I'll give you a chance to, get payback to make this right for Fame, because she's told him she now knows who put down Fame, and she lets him know that it was none other than ugly ass Snaps and Pop. And Kanan was questioning, what are you in there, run? Like, it's true, ugly ass nigga. So you down or what? You gonna make this right for him or what? Like, this was your best effing friend. And this ugly ass nigga really didn't give a damn. I ain't too concerned about dead niggas. Man was talking, and he's there to die. Which is pretty damn fucked up. That, Juke was more willing to stand on business than this ugly ass nigga. He's supposed to have been this my best friend. Next, we get to Rock. She's having to sit down with Pino. Pino's letting him know, like, being friends with you is very dangerous business. You ugly as hell out here, man. And I can't deal with it. You ain't got nowhere to sell your stuff. You ain't got no product. You ain't got nowhere to sell your product. I'm done. Rock tried to Rock tried to explain, and he was like, it ain't nothing else to talk about. And just to believe that we're gonna be back to collect. It's crazy. Anyway, next we get to these ugly ass cops. They pulled over them ugly ass white boys, and of course they found Alizé in their trunk. So they obviously got locked up. Next we get to Kanan and Breeze. Breeze is letting them know that he needs to talk with Kanan about, some situation. He also said, I heard you pulled up on that little flossy hoochie and you didn't tell him about it, but Kanan was letting him know that, it was a last minute thing. Wasn't nothing that he just planned. Next, we get to Marvin and Garcia and Jukebox. They're having a sit down. He is informing Marvin that the police indeed knows that it was him, although Amber didn't give him his name, give the police his name. That she did change her statement saying that the guy was black, and neighbors are, testifying that they seen there was a black guy that fit Marvin's description. They also know that Marvin had a close relationship with him, so they're creating a major case, and they're going to be coming after him pretty soon. And he was also letting them know that this is his last good deed. And like he said to Juke, if you don't look his direction, he'll look the other way as well, and they're pretty much done. Next, we get to Rock. Rock is getting into a lot of trouble. She's with this new ugly ass, fat ass lawyer, and pretty much the fans are on the ass, letting them know that she has a pending money laundering case that is escalating, and the ugly ass niggas letting them know that the case is not just bullshit, it is absolutely real, and it's going to be coming on her doorstep really soon. Rock is brushing it off, saying fuck y'all don't have nothing. And of course, ugly ass Agent Tanner, aka Shawn Michaels, let him know I wouldn't get I wouldn't get out of bed if this wasn't something, if I didn't have you dead to right. This is real, and I'm giving you the opportunity to let me know what you have on Pino and Stefano, because pretty much what he wants is any kind of information that can help a RICO case in imprisoning the mafia, which is Stefano and Pino. Right now, Rock isn't playing ball, but hey, next episode probably will be a different story. Anyways, next we get to Kanan and Breeze. Breeze is letting them know that Snaps and Pop wants them to take out both his mom and his uncle. And he's saying that I know your mom will be kind of tough on you, so I'll take her out, and I was thinking you might want to take your uncle out since he did beat the brakes off your ass. And then of course, Kanan was in the hell. He was like, it ain't really what you think it is. I got more beef on you with her than I do with him. He was like, really ain't that thing? And he said, and then of course he was like, Snaps and Pop need to see that you dedicated. Like, fuck you mean dedicated? I'm still ain't gonna live after they kill my best fucking friend. If they ain't dedicated enough for me, I don't know what it is. And then this is something interesting happened. He was like, where you hear that at? So for the guys that were saying that maybe Snaps and Pop had Breeze put him down instead of the cops, this little scene right here, I will say, did kind of raise my eyebrow a little bit to think it could be some truth to that, but I'm still gonna hold on to it that maybe he didn't, but he absolutely knew about it. So this could come back full circle later on in Origins when it's time for Breeze's demise. Keep that in mind. Next, we get to Marvin. He is counting his gats, counting his bullets, getting things ready. And of course, Jukebox comes in and she walks in and she is like, what your little lad doing? He's like, it's good to know what you have on hand. And she was like, yeah, but what you gonna do about that situation with Amber? He said, pretty much he wasn't worried about it, but she absolutely was, because she's like, she can't have them happen to you, and this shit is very serious. More confirmation to let you guys know this is it for Marvin. But she got her last hug from him and shed some tears. And next, we get to ugly Kanan. Actually, hold on. We get to Rock. she's having a conversation with the ugly ass fat ass lawyer, and the ugly ass fat ass lawyer lets her know that this is pretty tough. Like, this is serious. They do have some serious shit on you, and about the laundering of that mall. She was like, you know, she didn't do anything. All she did was sell the shit, and her ugly ass broker handled the situation. But he made it seem as if she knew exactly what was going on. Whoever this, you know, this alleged person that bought the mall made it seem like this was a deal, and that it had something to do with a drug enterprise going on. And I think I now know who the person who's responsible for this is, but I won't reveal it in this video. I have identified who this person is. Anyways, though. Next, we get to your boy Kanan. He's walking up to his spot, and he is interrupted by ugly ass Snaps and Bob. They're letting them know that Breeze told him about the situation with Snap, with him saying that it was Fame. It was them who put down Fame, and of course they had to keep capping like they do. That was a lot, son. Whatever. I don't remember all the damn words this nigga said. You know, that nigga be saying the words. But anyway, he basically said, that there was a lie, and that it was whoever it was is trying to pin them against each other, and they need to know where his allegiance lies. And he said he's gonna handle it, and you're not gonna be able to question what he thinks anymore. Well, I mean, what he says anymore after that. Anyways, next we get to your boy Marvin and Breeze having that showdown that we've been anticipating. Marvin, for the first time, Marvin didn't look too tough. And throughout 5 seasons, people, Marvin has always looked like the tough guy, ain't scared of nothing. You know, he always ends up winning every gunfight until this situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, this nigga actually retreated. That boy Breeze wasn't playing up in there. What's that, nigga? Y'all ain't shit. What's up, ugly ass niggas? You know what I'm saying? He was on their ass. And then, you know, in my opinion, I think this is just more confirmation that this is it for Marvin. When have we ever seen Marvin run away? We haven't seen it. Just letting you know more and more that this is it for him. And of course, Breeze was having fun. We was having fun, ugly ass nigga. Where you going? You feel me? So, you know, he had a little fun. Next, we get to your girl Juke. She got some ill intentions in her mind, and nobody but that Snap and that Pop is on her mind. And while she was thinking that over, in comes a known as Aisha, coming, crying, talking about, I can't do nothing about this shit. I can't live without you. Bitch, that pussy ain't that good, ho. It ain't that good. You can't even feel it like that for real anyway. Like, y'all using some rubber. Come on, man. It ain't hers. It ain't yours. Come on. Get over it. Find something else. Anyway, she ended up sitting over the damn couch, and then she noticed that it was a gat that was under there. She said, "What's this?" And Juke was like, "Fuck you, naked then. Look like a gat." And she was like, Aisha asked her whose was it. She was like, "It's mine." And like, nigga, damn, you starting to be annoying as hell. You need to get up out of here. So she kicked her ass out, and that was the end of that. Next, Marvin has now returned to Rock, letting them know, hey, I ain't gonna lie, that Breeze nigga ain't playing. That nigga glad nigga tore our heads up. And he's like, look, I don't know if it's that they don't change, shit don't change, or we just don't grow out of it, but you know, the streets ain't ours no more, which is the truth. And you know, Rock was still pushing that bullshit, trying to say, look, we still got product from Hafiz and Joaquin left over. We can be back up and running within an hour. You know, Marvin being more logical, he's like, look, we marks out here. The streets ain't ours. Like, how the hell you gonna post up when you got both Italian families after you, plus the Afghan niggas? There's no way in the hell you can post up. She's being delusional at this point. And he ended up to me, this is one of my favorite scenes of the entire show, where he gave kind of, slightly touched on the origin story of them. The reason why they got in the game, how things were in the beginning. And then, it ended up ending with him saying that Kanan was the hole in her heart that can't be fixed. And that he realizing that him and Lou didn't mean anything to her. Kanan was the only one that mattered. And to a degree, that was the truth. But to a degree, I do think Rock did care about them. So, of course, she did deny it. So, next we get to Aisha and Kanan. Aisha is now at Kanan's spot. And she is saying that, I'm telling you, Juke is she had a gun. And Kanan was like, we all got guns, I'm glad, nigga, look where the fuck we at. And then he's like, yeah, but I'm telling you, she's gonna do something crazy. She had a lot. That pussy must been good. Oh, that she was doing. She went to that nigga house and everything. But anyways, though, he was like, look, whatever it is, it probably was Marvin. And if she is planning on doing something, she probably coming after me. So that means you need to go. Of course, he kicked her out, and she said a funny ass line. Thomas is always kicking me out, and you still ain't getting the fucking picture. And slammed the door on her ass. Next, we get to your boys Snaps and Pop, and they are, having a brief conversation about what they're gonna do about Breeze, because now they're getting the news about, of course, the white boys has been locked up, and they are snitching on Breeze. So he was still doing other work behind their back. Next, we get to your boy Trey Munt. Rock is having a conversation with him, indicating that, she wanted him to be their supplier. He's like, you out your motherfucking bag. After all that shit y'all just did to me last season, you think I would supply you? Hell, if there weren't so many people around, I would have put a bullet in your ass right here. Then Rock, of course, Rock always got them good ass comebacks. She like, no, this nigga done got real comfortable now. Wasn't just last season you was begging to suck Bob's dick to get to get away. He let her know, look, you ain't got the muscle behind you like you once did to be able to talk all day. And you best believe when you good as dead, and when you dead, I'm gonna piss on your grave. Next, we get to our girl Juke. She got old ass Sanford and Son riding her around, following Snaps and Pop, and she is getting the drop. You know what I'm saying? And she catch them slipping. They having a meeting with Breeze, indicating, letting them know, I told your little glass, no side hustle. But you and your stupidness just had to keep on going on. So now you're gonna have to deal with the consequences. And Breeze was like, man, just a little something, a little Alizé for money in the club, glass nigga. He's like, well, glass nigga, that little money in the club about to cost you everything because you getting replaced. That's basically what he told him, and he was like, hold on, who gonna replace me, glad nigga? And they attempted to walk off, going through an alley, trying to head back to the car, and then they were met by none other than your girl Juke. And I must say, this is one of the sweetest part of the series, glass niggas. I don't think nobody else in any part of Raising Kanan. Y'all let me know it, man. Have y'all ever been happier to see this scene? It was another scene in this series that made you happier than this shit right here. To be honest with you, I think just off this thing alone, Haley Kilgore, aka Jukebox Girl, you may have became my favorite player. Cause she got them motherfuckers. She caught they little ugly ass slipping, and she was like, you killed fine, you ugly motherfuckers. They be like, what the fuck? And of course, Snaps didn't even know who it was at first. Then Pop told him, Kanan's cousin. Man, damn Amber Alert, my bad, y'all. Amber Alert. They bullshit. Some ugly ass people being ugly as hell. But anyway, though, y'all, back to what I was saying. So, Snaps was like, oh, this shit again. We ain't do nothing to that boy, son. And then of course Pop, I think, was trying to sweet talk him a little bit more, you feel me, and it seemed like Juke was slightly listening. Maybe they would have had a better chance if they tried to talk at him. But of course, this nigga Snaps did the worst, slowest attempt he tried to be sneaky with it, I guess. But the nigga was so slow. That nigga pull-out game was so slow. I don't know how they ain't got no kids. But his pull-out game is terrible. This nigga tried to pull out a gun slow as hell, and she popped the shit out of his head. That shit was up there, but I know I'm not the only one noticed that shit, bro. Let me know in the comment section, bro. This nigga was slow when he tried to reach out and pull a gun out. I know Pop was like, damn, this nigga slow as hell. That's why she's called Pop. And that nigga Snap. He probably tried to snap, but he wasn't fast enough. So Pop, you should have had the gun. Maybe you'd have been quicker to try to hit him and get her. Anyways, Juke became the Pop, and she got their ass and tore that ass up. And I'm gonna tell y'all, I was happy as a motherfucker. I was very excited that she got them motherfuckers. Anyways, next we get to your girl Rock. She's paying a visit to Vanessa's mom, and she's asking, about Vanessa and Unique. And she let them know that they're no longer in New York and they're not coming back. She realized who she was, and she told them, don't you come your little lad back. I got a gun and I know how to use it. That's very insightful too, but we will talk about that on another video. Next, we get to Marvin. He is writing a farewell letter. It's almost as if, he knew death was close upon him. So he wanted to prepare. I'm pretty sure he also was thinking about the words of Flossie telling him to bet it all on his daughter. So he is doing just that, putting instructions on what to do in that letter, and of course leaving her money in the case. But anyways, next we get to Juke. She is now paying a visit to Rock, letting her know that she knows that she didn't kill Flame. And Rock didn't say nothing, but you could kind of see it in her. It was a sigh of relief that at least one thing good happened in her day, because she's been having a rough day. So it's good that maybe her and Juke could get back on good terms, or would they? But anyways, next Marvin, he headed to the church, gave the pastor the suitcase, because he wanted to make sure Jukebox ended up getting it, and I guess that's who he trusted the most to make sure she received it. And the pastor, he gave the pastor some money for his wisdom and knowledge that he's been giving them over the time that they shared. The pastor said he'll take it as tithe, and he was going to put the suitcase away somewhere safe, but he wanted him to stay there because he wanted to continue to talk. And while he was there waiting on the good pastor, in came somebody ugly as hell, and that person that was ugly as hell is none other than the most hideous species in the history of power, aka Kanan Starz. Walked his little ass up in the church. Marvin like, damn, that little ugly ass hitting churches now? Your ugly ass don't give a fuck. And that's when he was like, I ain't here to rob no church, Uncle Marvin. And that's when it hit him. He was like, real glad, nigga? So you just upset because I beat the brakes off your little lad even though you deserved it? Then his little lad was like, it's bigger than that, glad, nigga. And you could tell he was shaky. He didn't really want to do it, but he knew he had to do it because he had already came in there. Because if he didn't do it, Marvin was 100% going to circle back and make sure he got him. And he was going to tell Juke. So, yeah. He didn't want them problems, so he knew he had to put him down. But before he put him down, Marvin gave obviously a beautiful monologue that is absolutely gonna sit with them. He told us little ass, it's gonna sit with you for a long time, little ass nigga. You gonna see me in your nightmares. And that's when little ass Kanan was like, I'll be all right. He said, you won't. You will be eventually, but in the beginning, it's gonna hunt you. And he asked Marvin, he said how it happened for you. And he said, I'm not low down like you, little ass nigga. You don't give a damn about nobody. That's why you're gonna die alone, little ass nigga. And he let him know. He's like, so we doing this or what, little ass nigga? The pastor on his way. If you gonna do it, then bop. Damn. Little ass nigga shot our nigga Uncle Marvin. Laid my boy on the ground. If you don't hate him before, you gonna hate him now. And he don't give a fuck. I hated that last scene, but I knew it was coming. Minded as hell. So I definitely think I have what's gonna happen next up in there, but of course you guys, you know, that would be another video. This one actually went over pretty long, but I appreciate all the last niggas that made it through. Definitely let me know what y'all think of this overall episode. Is it anything that I missed? What do you guys expect to happen for the next one? All of that and more in the comment sections. But like usual, if you're cool with me, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, leave a like, comment, let me know what you think. But most importantly, make sure you share it with your glad friends. Until the next video, I'm out.